So Canada just defeated Nicaragua in the first game of the U17 Championships on the women's side. What does it mean? Well, let's talk about it. Hey guys, welcome back to our What Does It Mean series. Normally just match reactions, but we have the women's Canadian U17 team playing. We also have CAF men's U17 going on. We have women's friendlies. So there's going to be a lot of What Does It Mean this week. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're new to the channel, we do primarily Canadian and African content. So make sure you do what you got to do. If you enjoy what you love, hit that subscribe. Leave a comment on what surprised you, what stood out to you. Turn on notifications so you know whenever we drop a video, which should be probably most days this week. But let's talk about this game. 5-0 over Nicaragua. And I think this is an interesting game. I find myself watching these games and thinking, man, I've never been more frustrated with big wins. And I'm not frustrated in the classic sense of, oh, we should have done better. I'm just more curious in my frustration and looking at this, and I think that should be the appropriate word, curious with this side. This is the first U17 Canadian side under new management in a while. And so as a result, there is a curiosity to this team in terms of their style of play, how they want to push players forward, what they're looking for, and the likes. And because of that, the style that we were accustomed to under the Emma Humphreys of the world, it's different than that. This team seems a little bit more methodical. They want to play through the right channels. They're looking to move back any type of resistance. They'll try to recycle. But I also have to point out, as a fan, this is the first time we're seeing them under this new regime. And so patience is going to be an interesting exercise this week. But I'm very much excited to talk about this team, what they were able to do, and it's a good start for them. 5-0, still tied for first at the top of their group. Less goals, but the same goal differential. Gary Moody is our head coach here, and I think he got off to a good start so far. 5-0. Let's talk a little bit about the lineup, which we didn't see properly at the screen grab this from CONCACAF, so I'm not sure of its accuracies. We had in the back line the starting 11, we'll just give you that. Busby, Agnes, Martineau, Garot, Mutpula, Kendall, Chisholm, Kay, Hunter, Kekic, Batter, and Busby, if I hadn't said it already. That's your starting 11. Not a bad 11, to be perfectly honest. And our goal scorers for this game were Lacey Kendall. I almost alliterated that one. So Lacey Kendall in the 18th minute. Kekic, Melissa Kekic in the 34th. Kaylee Hunter in the 41st. Olivia Chisholm in the 49th. And then Emma Donnelly in the 90th plus 3rd, 94th. If you look at the stats of this game, I mean, it's very much was one-sided. Looking at Google's stats here, 38 shots, 13 on target, 5 goals. And you saw this team was a little bit clunky. Nicaragua had 1 shot on goal, 1 shot overall. Possession was 72-28. Passes 479 to 192. It was one-way traffic the majority of the game. The first half was a little bit tight. I think you saw the Nicaraguans playing with a little bit more passion. The one thing I was curious to talk about here, I think there's value. As much as we will look at in Canada and we'll look and say, okay, look at these, our U20 teams beating these teams 20-0 in the qualification round. At the end of the day, the requirements are set by CONCACAF, so you want to make it in that stage, well, be in the top 3. If you're not in the top 3, or you're not in the top 2, one of these teams is going to have to go through this. And we saw this a little bit with the US in their first game. They looked a little bit, not that they were bad, just a little bit not on the same page, a little disjointed. And Canada had a few of those moments in this game. And you're hoping, if you're Canadian, and also if you're American, that through another couple of games, they're able to find their form and start to click on all cylinders. Because you saw the potential that this side has. You saw teases of it, you saw glimpses of it. But you also saw them unable to connect. They also were playing crossbar challenge. I think they hit 3 crossbars in this game. 3 or 4 crossbars. They had 1 goal that they accidentally headed out of the net. So if you want to play the what if game, I mean, this game easily could have been 9-0, 10-0. So I think just a little bit more consistency will go a long way for the side, because ultimately you see the talent, you see the pieces that are there. Kaylee Hunter was a menace in the first half, creating a lot of opportunities. Drew fouls, drew a yellow, had a penalty. That was the weirdest thing about this game. Kaylee Hunter earns a penalty, but then with no real VAR, they overturn it. If we're not going to have VAR, I'm fine with just if the ref makes a decision, the ref makes a decision. I think it's fine that way. That was just an odd situation. I like my CONCACAF when it should be CONCACAF. I don't like it at U17's levels. Thank you very much. But they look good in that situation. Pretty excited to see how they look moving forward. I think the encouraging thing is they got 5 different goal scorers, right? Chisholm, Donnelly, Hunter, Kekic, and Kendall. I think that's a good sign. I think there's goals throughout this roster, which means anyone can step up. Not to look at, I mean, Puerto Rico's game earlier were 2 goal scorers, right? Or 3 goal scorers. And so it's not a bad result. And it's good that those players are the clinical ones. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think it's great that Canada's been able to show us, and they play Panama next. Hopefully they have a little bit more time to build some of that cohesion and they get ready going. That matchup against Puerto Rico looks like it's going to be the game of that group. I think that's how they had it mapped up, and it'll be a good game regardless. So with that being said, Canada wins their first game. Guys, what do you think of this game? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, I'm gonna stop talking right here.